Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is my 6th update for my Pan That palette for 2024. So I am doing this in collaboration or following with the Pantastic Ladies. They came up with this project this year as the Fun Size palette. I decided to do 2 eyeshadow palettes and then 3 little mini face palettes. So let's get into it. The reason why this is the 6th update and not the 8th, because normally I do these as like a monthly update. I did miss 2 updates. One was just busy. The other was like there was not really much to update, so we just skipped it. But I feel like we have a couple of good updates this month. So let's start off with the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow quad. This is the luxury palette in the Dolce Vita. I, since hitting pan on this shade, have kind of, I don't want to say abandoned this palette, but I've taken a break from it because I wanted to focus on my other palette. I think I mentioned this in my last video that I figured with the other palette being sort of like a, well, we'll get into it. Yeah, I was focusing on the other one, not this one. So the weight change on this is so teeny tiny. Last month it was 53.48. It's now 53.45. That's a difference of 0.03. So yeah, I barely used this guy from last month. The side-by-side photo really won't show anything. It's going to be pretty unexciting. So there's that guy, but I will get back into that one, especially now that fall's coming around. I think it's going to be a really good color story for fall. The other palette that I've been working on is this Meme Box. Wow, I'm having a hard time saying that. The Meme Box. I'm Multi-Cube in 01 Sweet Pink. I can't remember, but I don't think I showed pan last month. But I hit pan like, I think 2 days after posting my last video in that one shade. And you can kind of see the shade beside it. I have a really good dip. I think I have a better dip in this shade. Oops, focus on my palette, not my face. Even though I was focusing on this one a little bit more, this one ended up getting a really good dip in it. And I have a bit of a dip in this one as well. I will put up the side-by-side so you can see from my last update to this update. I am going to roll this out. I decided because the color story is very, very spring, very summer, very light, very fresh, easy to wear. Was I wearing it in my last video? I can't remember. I might have been wearing it in my last video. I'm wearing the Too Faced Natural Nudes. Is that the one? I think that's the long one with like the big mattes and the little sparkles. That's the one I'm wearing today. I think mostly. I might have a little bit of highlighter in the inner corner. I did my makeup like 11 hours ago-ish. 10, 11 hours ago. So it's been a while. I did touch up the face though. So yeah, I'm going to roll this guy out and we're going to roll in a new one. And it's really taken Fun Size to like the extreme. It's this little guy. It's Pixie by Petra. It's a duo in Orchid Ornament. The one shade I had like smashed more than once. I've had to repress it more than once. You can see there's a lighter shade and a darker shade. I think they're a bit more of like a baked style. But I feel like this color palette is going to be a little bit nicer for fall compared to the other one and into the winter too. So I'm just going to do a little swatch of this. It also complements a little bit with the Charlotte Tilbury palette, I feel like. So the purple shade is pretty unintense, uninspiring. It's fine. It's not as intense as what it looks like it could be in the pan, so it's actually kind of easier for everyday wear. I really like this palette for this lighter shade on the eyes. It just pops. It's so pretty. So I'm excited to play with that. The kind of goal is to maybe hit pan on that lighter shade. Unlike this palette that's gonna say goodbye at the end of the year. I will keep this even though I will hit pan. Same with this one. I'm keeping this one even though I hit pan. So yeah, I just feel like this one's I'm gonna enjoy playing with it a little bit more than this for just the sake of using it to use it. That's something that I'm trying to think about a little more intentionally because this has been a conundrum since the beginning days of my channel, or since even trying panning, which is around the beginning days of my channel. That, you know, I like to use stuff, but then I also want to use the rest of my collection. So I want to pick something that makes sense for me to use on the regular, and I want to use it instead of just using it for the sake of using it to hit pan. I hope I'm making sense on that. So next up we have the, oh, I don't think I gave the weights on this one. So last month this was 30.24 grams. It's now 30.12 grams. That's a difference of 0.12 grams. And in total, since the beginning of the year, I've used 0.92 grams. So almost a full gram of product out of that palette. Next up, we have our little face palettes. Now this one I did hit pan last update, but the pan has significantly increased, and it's on my bronzer palette. So yeah, that sort of lighter shimmery shade, definitely have a lot bigger pan on that. I've been using this one a fair amount. Yeah, just playing with this one a lot more. I don't know if I'll hit pan on any of the other shades. Like, I don't feel like I have much of a dip in the other shades. I feel like the other shades are very stiff. So I do sort of just swirl my brush in the whole thing, but I think it's just mostly picking up this shade. Like, it's really not picking up the other shades at all. Like, this bigger shade, like, it's really hard to swatch that. But anyway, so there's that guy. So last month it was 23.22 grams. It's now 22.75 grams. That's a difference of 0.47 grams, which I feel like is like, these palettes are deceiving. There doesn't look like there's a lot. Well, I mean, the back of them say that there is 5.8 grams. So that's a reasonably decent size, but they look unassuming and unimpressive. They look like they're like measly little things. Like when you kind of pull the lid off. And I mean, this is where packaging is deceiving, right? Like when you look at this, like this looks so thin, but in the case of this kind of product or this packaging, it's just mostly product. There's very little packaging. The packaging is very thin. So when you think of something like, I don't know, like the Rare Beauty blush, like there's so much packaging around it for like a little bit of product on the inside. So I don't know, it's very interesting. I have been deceived by this. This is something that like I literally am just making this revelation right now, that I assumed like these pans look tiny, that these were going to be a lot less product and I'd hit like pan sooner, but there's a decent amount of product in these guys. So there's that one. The next one I have not hit pan on. I'm trying so hard. I think I'm pretty close. So this is the blush palette. It is the blush I'm wearing today. I'm focusing on this upper square right here, and I can tell in this inner corner we're getting close. I'm really hoping to hit pan on it soon because I don't really want to use this blush much longer. After, like, once I hit pan, I probably will use this very little because I want to finish up my blush in my Project Pan. So this one will get less attention for the remainder of the year. And I also feel like it's a very bubbly pink, like this pink, and even this one, like even the one I'm wearing, they're all very bright. Oh my god, that didn't even swatch. Which one did I swatch there? Yeah, this one, and this one. Where can I swatch these? I mean, especially on the tan, you can see they're very, very bubbly pink, and I'm not going to want to use that like much past mid-September. So hoping I'm going to focus on it pretty hard over the next 2 to 2.5, 3 weeks, and hopefully we hit pan on that, and then the progress on this will probably just like peter right off, which is fine. It's fine by me. I probably will, actually I'm pretty certain I'm going to declutter that palette when this project is over. Same with the bronzer palette. I don't know if I'll keep that one. So last month, the blush palette was 21.42 grams. It's now 21.38 grams. That's a difference of like this measly 0.04 grams. And I've been using this. I've been trying so hard. I don't know what's going on. So next up, again, we've got some good progress on this. So I had pan in this, and now I have a new pan. We're double panning, and it's like massive double panning. I hit pan on this again, I want to say shortly after I filmed my last update. I don't think I hit pan on it by my last update. Maybe I did. I'll find out when I check my photos. But yeah, this little shade, because I was focusing on this shade as I had a bit more like color on my body. So I was putting more color on my face, like with, I have like a little Isle of Paradise self-tanning drops that I put in my moisturizer. I also bronze the crap out of my face to balance it out, which probably looks terrible in real life, but whatever, I like it. So yeah, I've been focusing on this guy because it's a little bit deeper than this guy. I should have been focusing on the gold too for summertime. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Maybe for the fall. I feel like gold for the fall. I don't know if you can see, you can't even see that swatch. There it is. That's the gold right there. It's pretty natural, like on my deeper, like my hand has a bit more of a tan. Missed opportunity there. I mean, I have used it, like sometimes I just swirl my brush through all of them. But like I said, I've been heavily focusing on sort of these two. I definitely would like to try and finish this one up. The irony of this one, even though I'm finishing them up, I like it. I really like these shades. Again, it's the highlight I have on here on today. Between this and my Project Pan highlighter, like in most of my filming, that's what I'm wearing when I'm filming. So yeah, like I've really enjoyed this guy for a highlight, and I don't know. But the thing is that the two shades I like the most are the two that I'm like finishing. So I might not keep it once those two shades are done. I might keep them because what I've done with like some, like especially this white shade, I have like used the white shades and from like the Carli Bybel palette to like mix and like tone down sort of goldier ones. Like I could maybe just mix the two of them together and press them into a new highlight potentially, and use it that way because I might like it a little bit better that way instead of just swirling the brush every time. I don't know. And it's just fun to press things. Like why go through that effort? I don't know, but it is fun to press things. So that's kind of why I would want to do that. And it makes me, it's more motivating to use then. Like I'm more drawn to using it because I know I like the tone all over. That makes sense. So last month this was 23.03 grams. It's now 22.85 grams. That's a difference of 0.18 grams. So yeah, this project's going well. It's slow. It's definitely going slower than I thought. I thought I would have been a lot further along, particularly on these palettes. But the light bulb just went off today that they're not as small and as thin as I thought. Like I definitely got my money's worth on those products because they were like $1 each. I forget how much I mathed it out, but they were like $1 each because that was a massive kit that I bought that had a lot of products and was like super cheap. Anyway, yeah, so I am enjoying this project. Going a little slow, but progress is progress, right? So if you like this update, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.